Welcome to a Digital Diamond Baseball video for version 4 on how to import as-played lineups, opening day rosters, and real-life transactions into a library. If you remember on a previous video, we showed you how to import the 1980 season using the Layman database. So I'm going to pick up with that season right now and show you how to import your as-played lineups first. Okay, to import as-played lineups, you first want to go to the Season, Create New Season menu item. And then choose Import Schedule. Check the Import As-Played Lineups if they exist button. And then you're going to go and browse to find the schedule for 1980. And if we look here, I have all the schedules. Game comes with all the schedules for all seasons. There's 1980. And then you're all set to click on OK and start the import. The import will ask you to match up teams in your library with teams in the import. So for example, in this case, you've got the New York A, which is the American League New York team, which would be lined up with the New York Yankees. And if we keep going, here's a case where it's not sure about a player. The file has Billy sample, and the library has Bill sample. So it did its best to guess how to line those two up, and it turns out it was correct, so we can accept that one as well. You want to keep going with this throughout the library until it completes and your schedule is created. Just a couple comments about this. To start, every player in the as-played lineup, as-played schedule should be in your library. So you should have no reason to use the skip button here. You should always have a match. Second, for players that have multiple words in their last or first name, for example, a player whose last name is De La Rosa, will often not match up. The computer will not be able to match that up very well, so you'll have to search for them in the list. So anytime you see a player with more than one word in their first or last name, be sure to scroll through the list of options to find the player that is being imported. Okay, at this point we've got the whole schedule with as-played lineups imported. We can hover over and you can see the players in each lineup. The next thing to do is import the opening day. We need to do the organization first. So we'll go to the organization tab and we'll have to add players to the divisions here. So let's take care of the National League East first. And we're going to pick all the teams that were in the National League East in 1980. Let's see, do I got everyone? I think I do. I think I might have forgotten the Cubs. Oops. Sorry about that, Cubs fans. All right, we've got the Cubs in there now. The Central Division doesn't need to be here. There was no Central Division in 1980, so let's get rid of the two Central Divisions as well. Okay, and I'm going to take care of the rest of the teams here, and then we'll come back and move on to the opening day rosters. All right, okay, so we have the divisions and the organization set up. Now we need to import the opening day rosters, and you can do that by browsing to the Baseball Goodies opening day roster file, and that file was on Baseball Goodies, but my understanding is that website is no longer up and available. So you can download this file from our website underneath the support section of Digital Diamond Baseball. And once you download this file, you can select it here in this dialog box. And this file contains the opening day rosters for all teams up until 2011. So let's see, where do I have mine stored? We'll browse to that. Okay, there it is. And again, this is available on our website under the support section. And that's the year. We say OK, and we go through the same drill here. We have to start selecting the correct players and teams and match them up. So for example, here we have Benny, and then Benny with an IE and Benny with a Y, so we have to match that player up with the other player, just like we were doing before. And remember, if a player has two words in their first or last name, like De La Rosa, You want to especially look through the list. It's probably not going to find it or select it for you automatically. You'll have to find it in the list. One thing about opening day rosters is that sometimes a player may have started on an opening day roster but not played, and in that case you will not find a match in the library. So it is possible that there'll be a player on the roster that's not in the library, and if that happens, just click on the skip button and it'll move to the next player. Okay, the rosters are done. As you can see, as I browse through here, you can see all the players on the appropriate rosters for opening day. And the next move now is to import the transactions. To do that, go to the Transactions tab, click on Import, and browse to the Transactions file. And this is also a file that used to be hosted by Mark Miller on his Baseball Goodies website. The file can now be found on our website under our support section. And so you can go there, and after you download the file, you can select it here as the input file. And then be sure to check Baseball Goodies format. And here we go again, same deal. As we're moving through the library, we are selecting the appropriate teams and players that match with the file that we're importing and the library we've already created. This works just like it does in the other screens. It's also possible there'll be players in this file that are not in your library because they may have had a transaction, a promotion, or a demotion, but not played enough to make it into the library. All right, we just finished importing the transactions, and we now have all of the transactions for the 1980 baseball season. Before we actually play any games, however, it's very important to remember to restart the current season. This will cause all of the rosters to be updated to the opening day rosters. So this will execute those opening day rosters we imported so that our rosters are ready to start playing the season. And with the rosters ready, we are now set to finally play some games. So let's fast play some games. Here, let's see, see if we play enough games here to get some of the transactions to execute. We're going to need a few more games than that, I think. Let's see. Yep, let's play a couple more just to make sure we get a transaction executed. Let's go through the end of the week here, and let's play more than one game at the same time. Okay, let's see. I think we're done. Let's take a look at our Transactions tab. And sure enough, there's a transaction. We did have one on the 10th, automatically executed to keep our rosters in line with the schedule and the season as we replay it. That's about it for this video. We've showed you how to import as-played schedules, opening day rosters, and transactions. One more word about transactions. There's usually about 5 or 10 mistakes in the transaction file that comes from Baseball Goodies, and you'll encounter those during the fast play occasionally if the transaction is missing and then the as-played lineup doesn't match the rosters. You usually can work your way through these by adding or editing transactions in order to correct any mistakes that might be there. And there is a separate video on our website that will show you how to, an example of how you could work your way through the kinds of errors you might run into with these transactions. Once you make the few corrections, the library is all set from that point forward. One more comment. Everything I've shown you in this video is something you probably will never have to do. On sportsreplays.net, there are copies of the libraries for nearly every season in baseball history. So there really isn't much cause for you to have to create your own libraries that match the existing baseball seasons. But some people like to do it, and there are still a few libraries missing. So this video is helpful if that's something you're interested in trying out. Thanks a lot, and enjoy.